Hello and welcome to Bored Stupid. My name's Wayne.
And I'm Matt.
And sometimes you find yourself stretched for time.
Yeah, you're really on the clock.
Really on the clock.
And what happened when it's like, oi mate, I just have 60 minutes to play.
That's all I've got. What have you got in your collection?
Yeah, let's have a look.
And that's what this episode is about. We're going to give you 5 amazing games each.
So 10 in total of games that you can play under the 60 minutes. The rule was anything between basically 45 to 60 minutes. All of mine are 60 minutes including setup.
That's pretty good. All of mine, the maximum play time is 60 minutes. Like it doesn't even go over it it's not like 45 to 70. It's like 60 minutes maximum or less.
Six.
Yeah.
And we're gonna give you this list. Before we do it, as usual, like, share, and subscribe.
Bam!
And if you subscribe, you can see all our stuff when it comes out. For example, the next episode of this mini-series, where we're gonna see the 30 minutes games, and then the 90 minutes games, and then the 2 hours games.
And then if you like it, we'll keep doing that. And this is going to be something forever.
2 weeks games.
2 weeks games. Mega games.
But yeah, should we go and start with number 5?
That one.
Let's
do it. Let's go see it.
Wayne,
yes.
The first one on your 60 minutes list. Go on.
Okay, the first one.
We're
on the clock. We're on the clock. The first one is a cooperative game map, and it is Horrified by Ravensburger Games.
Great game.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game. Really easy to get to the table, pretty easy to teach. Not very complex, but there's plenty of fun to be had in there.
And a great theme.
Great, amazing theme. Yeah, great spooky theme. There's 3 versions of it, as you know. So you've got
which one is your favorite?
The American Monsters is my favorite. Basically, 'cause I like the town setup and stuff. But actually, all of them are amazing. So there's no issue there. It's kind of a pick up and deliver type game where you're going to be taking various civilians to the places that they want to go, while also trying to deal with lots of mini games.
Yeah, those are the best things. So each monster will have a different mini game inside the main mechanics. That's really fun.
And the scalability of it is absolutely fantastic in how it works. If you want it easy, you deal with one monster or a couple of monsters. If you want it really hard, you throw all of the monsters in the mix and then you try and deal with it. And the way that scales, I think, is absolutely genius. So, yeah, brilliant game. Action-based, kind of like Pandemic. That's Horrified. Matt, we're on the clock, 60 minutes. What's yours?
60 minutes. This game plays exactly in 60 minutes.
6-0 to the money.
Even if it's based on another game that is played in 90 minutes.
Okay,
I'm talking about a football game.
Yeah, of course.
And the board game that I'm bringing here is Undici. That means 11, like the number of players for each team.
What language is that?
In Italian.
Never heard of it.
And the board game is basically it's a 1 versus 1, and is a football match simulator, but with strategies and cards, and each player's got different abilities. So each player, you will have to you know that you got the one that can run faster, the one that it can shoot longer, or the one that are more precise. So it's each player will have different things. You can play with the pre-made teams, so you pick this or that teams. Otherwise, you can do the shuffling all the players together, picking up, and each one of the players basically draft their own teams.
Cool.
And each one plays a coach, and you will have special cards that will let you do special abilities. For example, there is one that lets your guys run faster because you're kind of motivating them. Or there are counter cards to other strategy. So it's really well made. It's a great production. And if you're a football lover and you got 60 minutes time to play, Undici is your game. Wayne, what's next on the list?
My number 4 is going to be Pan Am. Pan Am, if you like the golden age of flying, absolutely. If you liked a little bit of what's that film with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, that's right. Doing loads of coke and all that sort of stuff. It's a family show. Yeah, it's an amazing, amazing game. You are essentially competing airlines trying to work during the reign of Panam. And in this game, Panam is like Thanos. It is inevitable. So
it's gonna come and get you.
It's gonna come and get you. Panam is inevitable. So what you're doing, you're building your little airline business, but all the while Panam is growing, and they will eventually eat up your roots, and they'll pay you out. Because the only way that you win in Panam is having the most stock in Panam at the end of the game.
Fair enough.
If you want to try and make your business as big as possible until Panam gobbles it, and then you're going to spend all that money back in stocks. It's a really brilliant game. It does a little bit of worker placement, but it does this really cool thing with the worker placement, Matt. It does this sort of worker bumping. So if I place a worker, you could come along and place a worker on a higher, sort of a slightly higher rating. It'll bump mine off.
Fair enough.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Really, really clever. Yeah, it's just a fabulous, fabulous game. Completely underrated, great value. So if you go check this game out now, you get great production for very, very cheap, and it's an excellent game. So that's my number 4, Panam. So Matt, what's next on your list?
On my list, we got Barenpark. I think it's Barenpark. Bear Park. I love bears, so as you can see from my
from the logo
stuff, yeah. So what's Barenpark? Barenpark is a tile placement game where you're trying to build a bear park.
Brilliant.
And you basically got fixed tiles that you need to fit on your board, and the park will keep growing following certain rules. At a certain point, you against the opponents will have to face like where I'm gonna put this or where I'm gonna put that to trying to maximize the your scoring. And it's very clever how is it done. It's very cute because it's got like all different type of bears as well that you can have. So if you got not just one type of bear, you can have grizzly bear, you can have polar bear, you can differentiate your park with all this while basically building this gigantic Tetris of tiles. And again, as a well-done tile games, it's like you're gonna start looking at what the others are building to start stealing the pieces they might let them score more points. And yeah, it's overall like a very, very nice game. And definitely if you love tile placement games and you just have an hour, Barenpark or Bear Park.
But in German.
So what's next on your list?
Next on my list,
the third game of your list. What you got?
Yeah, on the subject of different language words, we've got Orichalcum.
Oh, Orichalcum.
Orichalcum, which is I think a mythical material from ancient
Greece.
That's right, absolutely. And so Orichalcum, the game came out relatively recently in the last few years, as of the date of this video. And it is fabulous. It does a couple of things really, really well. It's got an open draft. I love open drafting. It's got a bit of tile placement. You're going to be placing tiles onto your own personal map, your own island. And you've also got a little bit of dice chucking for battling monsters. And you've got a little bit of engine building as well. It's superb.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything in there. But it's not too complex. Again, plays within the hour. It's enough of the game to keep you interested and make you satisfied and feel like you've had a full-on experience, but not so overcomplicated that you're going to spend hours setting it up. It's a really nice, easy setup, easy breezy teach, and a really wonderful production. You're either going to be making Orichalcum, or you're going to be getting more troops, or you're going to be going out fighting monsters, and you're going to be getting new sort of tiles and upgrades for your own little sort of city-state, which will give you different powers, and they'll break the game in different ways. It's really fantastic, and when you play it for the first couple of times, you think, oh, okay, maybe it's about the tile laying, and maybe it's about how efficient I can, kill the monsters, and etc., etc. But no, the real trick of the game is in getting these different upgrade tiles and making your sort of city-state like really different and make it break the game in different ways. Really, really
and you need to please the gods to get their favors.
Exactly, and that's amazing.
It's very
I didn't even mention the best bit about this game. The fickle gods. And this game you play to 5 points. So every point really counts.
Really
matters because it ends immediately. And some of those points might be gods, but as you say, the gods are fickle.
They might prefer you today, but not tomorrow. So take that points away from you.
Exactly. So Orichalcum is amazing. Big fan of that game. So if you've got an hour, check out Orichalcum. Matt? Passing it over to you, what's next?
Do you think that you can play a dungeon crawler in 60 minutes?
Absolute nonsense. Of course you can't.
That you
Surely
can.
not. No,
That
you
you
cannot.
can. And the games I'm talking about is Tiny Epic Dungeon. Small
It's
box.
a very small dungeon.
Big game.
Nice.
As I said, it's a dungeon crawler. It's a time placement dungeon crawler, so you will have to explore basically random dungeon every time you play. It's gonna be different because the tiles that you're drawing it's gonna be different every time. There are very nice mechanics on push your luck, so trying to achieve stuff. A lot of dice rolling. Of course, you will have like different heroes that you can play with. It plays well with 2, 3, 4 people, and it's really fun. And once you basically achieve what the dungeons want you to do, whatever the quest is, you're gonna face the boss. So you finish every time you do a dungeon, you will face an end boss, and that becomes very much like a boss battle because the rules at that point, they're gonna be special rules for the boss. So that boss will do this, the other boss will do that, and it's very nice. And they got these mechanics while the light will go out into the dungeon, so you need to keep the lights on, making sure that you don't fall into the darkness.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it's a very small box, very small price. It takes a little bit of space on the table. That I will not say doesn't really travel very well. I did try, but not that well. It takes a little bit of space, but you definitely can play like literally between 45 an hour. You're done with your adventure, and it's always fun. So it's a very scaled down version of a dungeon crawler, but done in a really nice way. And we know that the guys that produce this game are the same one that produce all the other tiny epic.
Very good. Some of them are brilliant as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't know about the other games as well, check them out.
Yeah, Swat Elms is a bit clever.
Yeah, for me it's Tiny Epic Dungeon because we must have a dungeon crawler even under 60 minutes.
You put it in the contract.
Okay, we are almost at the end of the list, but we got a few more games still to go, and we don't have enough time. Come on, quick. Which one is your next one?
Well, lucky for you, it's right there. Can you pull out this massive thing? I've got a prop now, this one.
It's this one?
This one here. Woo! I've got a prop. The reason why I've got this prop, let me put this on the table just briefly. You think this is about the biggest, chunkiest game you can get within an hour.
It is. That's a lot.
It's a lot of game.
Yeah. So Project Elite, a Simon game is, should we say, is Starship Trooper in a box?
Starship Troopers in a box. You are going to be cooperatively facing the Zerg Rush or Tyranids or whatever. They all come rushing towards you, and you or your buddies, and you're going to be trying your best to shoot them down and trying to complete objectives on the board. This has a wonderful sort of 2-phase approach. Well, 3 phases really. You've got a planning phase. We're going to be working out, okay, you're going to go here, I'm going to go over there, I'll try and get the objective, etc., etc. Then you have a real-time phase where you've got a minute timer and you're going to be chucking dice like a maniac as fast as possible, trying to get different combos to activate your weapons or trying to do different objectives with the dice and all that sort of stuff. And then you've got the bad guys, the alien phase. They'll all activate at the end, and they'll all sort of come forward, they'll activate different powers, they'll shoot you in different ways. And if you spawn different bosses, the bosses are going to come out and they're going to have different abilities. This is an adrenaline rush of a board game. And something this big and this ridiculous that you can play in 60 minutes.
Yeah, it's quite special.
It's quite special and quite unusual. The setup, probably a little bit longer than a couple of minutes. But look, let's assume you set it up in the morning for your game night in the evening.
Fair enough. That's why I said my lists were including setup time.
No, okay, well, this is 60 minutes gameplay, set up in the morning for later on. But if you want a riotous good time, I don't think you can go too far wrong with Project Elite. Matt, you're on the clock. What's next?
Next one for me, we talked about bears earlier, so we go back to something very similar. I'm talking about Cascadia.
Oh, very nice.
So Cascadia is one of my favorite games.
It's a great game.
It's such a relaxing game as well while you're playing.
It's such a great pick. I didn't think
it's
about
just like I love it, and it's a tile placement and set collection games, and where you basically build your park in front of you,
national park.
while drafting tiles from the open market. You always have to decide which tile to pick with what animal that it comes with, and trying to build it with the following the scoring mechanisms that will tell you how to score point for that specific game. For example, some of the cards will tell you to group together 3 or 4 bears to get more points, or to have a line across across your parks of a river with salmon in it.
Yeah.
So it's that game, every time it comes out, it fascinates me.
It's such a great game. I mean, it's a brilliant. It's a Spiel des Jahres winner.
Yeah.
And rightly so.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
Such a good game.
That is the reason why.
So easy breezy, great, simple to teach.
Yeah, I would say that it's under an hour, even teaching the game to someone that never played.
Absolutely, and you've got scalable difficulty for the game with the different scoring cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, really smart game, and especially with the expansion out
now. That we got up there.
Even more for it. I think it's a great pick, man.
So yeah, my number 2 on this list must be Cascadia.
It's a great one.
All right, Wayne, we literally got another minute.
We've got another minute.
Up to the 60
minutes. Up to the 60 minutes.
Which one is the last one on your list?
Well, I've got to race to the finish line, and if I'm going to race to the finish line, I'm going to race to El Dorado, man.
Oh,
Quest for El Dorado.
Yes.
Which is just such an amazing game.
I knew it.
You knew it'd be this one. This game plays in 60 minutes, and it is brilliant. Nice, easy setup. Complete amount of variability, because you can have loads of different maps.
Yep.
The goal is simple. Get your dude from the start of the map to El Dorado at the end of the map. But done in the cleverest way, where you're going to be deck building as part of it.
Yep.
So you've got your little starter deck like everyone else has, and you're going to be buying new cards from the open market during the game. And the genius thing of the game is, on the cards, it's relatively straightforward. Just tells you the terrain. That's it. It goes, this card will let you move this far through this type of terrain. And as soon as you explain that to people, they go, "Oh, that's clever."
The design of the game is absolutely genius.
Absolutely brilliant.
And the adrenaline that gives you while you're trying to get to El Dorado, and the market and the deck building is absolutely fantastic.
Great strategy because there is blocking in this game. Blocking is 100% a thing, and if you're not blocking, I don't think you're playing the game.
No.
So you should be getting your ass in the way of people and causing a massive tail behind you. Move out the way. No, I'll just chill here for a minute. You go the long way around while I fish through my deck for the cards that I need. Absolutely brilliant. It gives you ways to cull your deck. There's a mini expansion in the new version of the box, which is great, which you can go look for little tokens in these caves, and that'll give you little bonuses. It's just a brilliant game. I love Quest for El Dorado. I don't think I'd ever not play it.
It's such a great game.
It's a great game. So that's got to be It's got to be the first one. It's got to be number 1. All right, Matt. You've got 1 hour to play. You've got 1 game you're pulling out. What are you bringing?
And that game is Ra.
What a game!
Simple as that. It's probably one of the games that,
it's one of my favourite games ever.
Always comes out when in a short time. We got an hour time. Probably our first pick will be Ra. Especially if we got a 4 or 5 people group. That's definitely one of the best game. And for the ones of you that don't know what Ra is probably the perfect auction game.
Perfect bidding game. Perfect bidding game, yeah, absolutely. We did a little deep dive up here, which you can go and see.
Yeah, we did a special episode, so definitely check it out if you want to know more. For now, what we're going to tell you is it's basically a closed economy bidding system. It means that at the start of the game, you will have 3 numbers that are your bidding tiles that you can use. But once you use that one, that's not going to come back to you.
It's done.
So you if you got high numbers, you need to think about it when you're gonna use it and how you're gonna use it. But at the same time, if you got low bidding numbers, since you're basically bidding on set of tiles, you can push the others to bid higher numbers for lower number of tiles that they're building. So you're basically driving the auction, invoking Ra, and pushing everybody to make their choice if they want to lose those tiles for such a small amount, or they want to take them for a big number. It's just genius. Have a look to the deep dive video that we did.
What I love really a lot about this game, mate, is not only are you bidding on these like scoring tiles in the middle, but you're also bidding on the next round's auction token. So it might be you've got this amazing set of tiles that you might score with, but the auction token in the middle is like a 1 or a 2, and then the next round is stuck with that.
You really need to think
about it
very, very carefully of every time that you bid, for what and how, when to push, when not to push. It's genius, and we really love the game, and we play it every time we can.
And if you've got an hour, you should play it too.
Right.
So those were our picks for games that you can play in 60 minutes.
Yep.
But what do you think?
Yeah, let us know which one you guys like to play in 60 minutes.
You're inviting us around your place for a game. We've got an hour because we're very busy people.
Yeah.
What are you bringing to the table to show us?
Let us know
in the comments below.
And while you're doing it, don't forget to hit the like button and to share, to look at the rest of our content, and most of all, hit the subscribe button so you can be informed when the next episode of this mini-series is going to come out, where we're going to be talking about 30 minutes game. So you even got less time.
You're in a rush. You got 30 minutes to get games to the table.
And we already got a lot of good games that goes in that category. So stay tuned for the next episode. And I guess we'll see you next time.
Yeah, catch you again real soon.
Ciao.